Hi everyone, it's David here, RF Shop. Today's video covers a specific product that seems to be really getting popular. It's the Classic Out There kit or the Classic Caravan kit. I guess the first question is, where did the name Out There come from? And it's really just to, as always, have a little bit of fun while being serious and also being quite descriptive. So of course it's a Classic Caravan kit because that's the target idea or the target market for this kind of solution. But to be out there means to literally be out there, and it's also an out there idea to have this kind of name. So kind of a bit of wordplay, just having a bit of fun. But if you want to simplify it to, it's the Classic Caravan kit, which we call the Classic Out There kits. Whatever keyword you use, it should be coming to our website specifically. Now first of all, what is the Classic kit? So really it's a selection of products that we found works best. We have some product selections that are a little bit simpler, and we had some product selections that are a little bit more expensive or a little bit more complicated. But at the end of the day, we found that it always comes down to this specific type of scenario. So what we have in the kit is the Pointing MIMO 3 version 12, or the MIMO 2x2 version of the that antenna. We kit it up with the ever popular Teltonika RUT240, and then we also include a power cable, which is just a 12-volt power cable, so that you can power your Teltonika from any 12-volt supplier that you have in your van or your campsite or something. And instead of using the two mobile antennas that come with the Teltonika, we would say then use the actual antenna connections from the Teltonika itself. What we are trying to solve here is really anybody that wants to use internet out and about. So if you are, pretty much like anybody in our modern world, if you want to have an internet connection when you're outside, then you really want to have a modem that is reliable, and you want the external antenna. If you are in weak areas where the signal is no longer good enough, you have a weak Telstra or a weak Optus, or you only have one of them and it's really not good enough, you need an antenna such as this, which is an external antenna, to just get you that better connection to the weak cell phone network. So what else do I want to say? So why do I think this is so popular? I think it's an awesome solution, to be honest. If you start with the antenna just works really well in the application that we're looking for. It's MIMO, which means it has two antenna elements inside the unit itself. So it gives you the full functionality of a typical 4G connection, a LTE connection that you would get, not just here in Australia, but anywhere in the world. The modem itself, the Teltonika modem, a couple of things that I think makes this one, for me, really stand out. First of all, what we love about it, it's industrial grade product. So it comes with a level of reliability and robustness that you don't necessarily find in the more consumer grade products. So it's the power range is from 9 to 30 volts. So you have a wide power range available to run a power supply onto the unit itself. It's designed to be always on. It's designed to be just doing its thing without you having to do power reboots or to look at this all the time. So it's really there to be reliable and also always on. The other thing is it is capable of surviving the odd shake or vibration. So if you put this in your van, you leave it in your car, no matter if you go on an off-road trip or so, this thing will keep working. But if you have some of these other consumer grade products that are more plasticky, things tend to break because they don't necessarily are made for long-term abuse, if I can use that word. If you think about cell phones, mobile phones, maybe it's better these days. I don't really know, but typically you would expect something to last 2 to 3 years, and after that, things tend to break. These things are supposed to keep working. That's really it. It's the simplicity of the reliability, and the performance is just robust in there. That's what's most important for me. Who would use this kit? Now, really, to be anybody that really wants an internet connection out there. This unit itself, it is category 4, so you could say, well, it's not going to give you the latest and greatest or the fastest internet connections. But then again, if you look at what the network could offer, you're probably not going to have that anyway. So when I did my test in Port Lincoln, I got 65 megabits per second on this same router. 65 megabits per second. That's as good as I can get at home, where I have two teenagers watching YouTube, watching Netflix. I'm doing Teams or Zoom calls. Everything works through this device. So the performance and stability of this unit is absolutely great. So I think the solution is basically for anybody that goes camping, no matter if you're a family on a family trip, if you're going to work remote, because I say I get my team calls and my emails and everything through this without any trouble at all. So the scope is actually anybody that wants basic and reliable internet connectivity. A question that we do get these days is, can it do 5G? So this is a 4G device, so it can only do 4G. Brutally honest, at the moment I am only focused on 4G. Still, I know 5G is coming and a lot of people are talking about it, and there's a lot of consumer devices out there already that can do 5G. I'm not there in terms of what I think this is must have. Absolutely not. I think what we want is something that is reliable and stable, and specifically when you're middle of Australia or just far and remote. The last thing you want is your modem to be unreliable and stops working because of overheating or so. That's the kind of thing you want. As far as 5G, this antenna does cover the 5G frequency band. So the antenna itself, I often talk to people and I would say, get your infrastructure ready. Once this is in a caravan or in your vehicle or in your setup, if you get a 5G modem in 2 or 3 years time, plug this device in and you should get your 5G working up that way. But for now, this is not a 5G solution, this is a 4G solution. And that's really it. So it's an antenna, it's a modem, it's a power supply. You still put your Wi-Fi antenna on the device itself, but you would, rather than connecting your two mobile 4G antennas to it, you would connect the antenna to it. Now, I'm going to say, actually put it in the wrong hole. I didn't check the actual reading, so that's where the Wi-Fi would be. Just to be correct. Right, there we go. That's what you would put in the van. Now, to do a quick demonstration of how it goes in the van, do not laugh, but it's the best I can do, and I think it serves the purpose. So hopefully this is a memorable moment. So there's my caravan. All right, so rather than having a tinfoil house, I have a toy caravan. It didn't come in any other color, so it's going to be my pink caravan, and so be it. That's the story I'm going to say. So that's good fun. What you would do in this case is you have your caravan. There's a caravan, and you would have to install an antenna. Now I have an old version of my antenna. You may remember in an earlier video I did put a caravan, an antenna, this antenna on my old vintage caravan. The caravan is no more. That's not necessarily something. It just happened. So the caravan is no more, and we recovered the antenna because the antenna was perfectly fine. So that's good for these demonstration purposes. So what you do is you install the antenna on your van. Now the main way to do it for this type of caravan is just to really take the spigot mount, the longer version that you can get in the box from the actual antenna, and you would drill a hole that supports this 21 millimeter diameter. So I've drilled a hole in my caravan, so just assume this is a real life caravan. I still drill a hole in it, and then you would install the antenna. So this is actually why this is an awesome little toy, although it is just a toy. You can see the inside and the outside. So put the antenna and you feed the cable through the hole. So again, you just pretend this is a real life big caravan. You feed the cable through the hole that you made. Go in. There you go. This way, I want it this way forward. You can, for aerodynamic purposes, you can probably choose which way you want to go forward. So there we go. My caravan is on. Now, you take the actual nut at the bottom. I just want to make sure I do it correct. So it's going to come this way. This way. Get confused. And run the cable through. And you would mount it. So I'll actually use this camera above. Let's see, there we go. What you can't do in real life is put your caravan on this side. So just for the sake of showing. There we go. Once it's mounted, you would run the cable inside your caravan along any route that you have, so any place that you can route your cables that you want to route it to. This is 2 meter, so you have 2 meter cable to work with. Can always go longer, potentially go shorter as well. We at RF Shop we can do cable modification, so we can certainly make it shorter. We can put other connectors on as well. I had a customer today ask about a QMA connector. So if you want another type of connector, definitely can do that. You run your cable, install your modem inside somewhere in your caravan itself. So say there's a little cabinet, and you would connect it to it. So I'd mount my antennas. I don't care which antenna port goes where. So as long as both ports go to the 4G ports. There's my unit connected to my antenna and my power cable. So this power cable can go to any place you want. So assume you have a cigarette lighter. You can also get a DC block for this, so it's either way. So there's power on this unit. That's my modem, it's powered. It's connected to my outside antenna. Gets stored in a cabinet or somewhere inside your caravan. Of course you do it much neater. My cabling is not up to scratch. Shit, man. What a show concept. There. All done. There you go. Now you can go on holiday. I actually have a car somewhere, but anyway, that's not the point. So that's really it. So antenna is installed on a caravan. The cable runs inside, and then inside you connect it to the 2 ports rather than using these 2 little antennas that you normally get with your Teltonika RUD240. You would connect the antenna to that. That's the classic out there kit. Now you can see why we call it out there, because this thing is just totally out there, but it works like a dream. So happiness, absolute happiness. So that's the kit. It's been going really well. It's a very successful product. It's a useful product. It makes a lot of sense in terms of what it can do, because the antenna is very reliable in remote areas. The modem itself is ultra stable and robust and reliable when you are kind of relying on an internet connection to be up and running when you need it at most. Other than that, thanks for watching. I do appreciate you making time to watch this video. If you have any questions, please do let us know. Welcome to ask the questions at the bottom of this video, or otherwise send us an email or visit our website rfshop.com.au. Give us a call. Other than that, thanks for watching, and hope to see you on the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.